Hi, everyone. Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Loshak. His name is Jimmy the Bag. This is Loshak and the Bag Show for Thursday morning, April 19th. Yesterday was kind of more of the same, the way things have been going over the past bunch of weeks. Once again, Jim and I had a nice job and did a nice job in the NHL playoffs. I did even a little bit better. And what else happened? We took it on in the bottom mouth, betting on a Cavs game. And once again, I had a losing day in baseball, and Jim once again had a small winning day in baseball. Was it a big winning day?
No, it was not a big winning day.
It was a small winning day.
I lost the last two games. Those two dogs I took upsetting. And now it was. I thought that Mariners game was going to work out 1-1 in the seventh, but
as I've said many times, when you take dogs that you think have value, very, very tricky because you're betting an underdog that you think has value. It's the bet that you expect to lose. You just expect it to lose less than the market is going to pay you for it. You know what I'm saying, Jim?
Yeah, but man, was that Penguins bet easy.
Just super easy. I mean, really, if we just limited ourselves to like one or two bets a day, the show would be a lot more boring. But probably our records would probably be. Probably, not definitely, but probably significantly better, right, Jim? I think so.
Yes, but it is hard to nail down exactly. I mean, clearly the Pens was the play of the day.
But we can, when people put us on the spot, we do it. Remember, why did we know Pens was the play of the day? Because someone asked us. And what did we say? We went over everything. We're like, well, Jim likes Anaheim as a dog. I'm thinking San Jose second half. And then I was like, you know what? I think it's got to be just the Pens. No brainer. You agreed with that, and look what happened, right, Jim?
Yeah, it was really easy. Flyers are in big trouble. They're being very quiet about what's going on with Couturier. Hopefully he can come back for Game 5 if you are a Flyers fan. If not, this season it will be ending shortly.
Yes. I mean, I think that the season's going to be ending. I mean, Jimmy the Bag, your record, you're going to take a major leapfrog because don't forget, a few shows ago at the beginning of the playoffs, Jim took the Pens as a pretty big dog to win to make it to the Cup and then to win the Cup. What'd you get, like 5-1 and 10-1 or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if the Pens win the Cup, if the Pens win the Stanley Cup this year, which is entirely possible, Jim, that's 15 units you're looking at stacking on your record here, Jim.
Yeah, which, I'm not even going to just take it a game at a time.
Absolutely.
But,
absolutely.
Yeah, I do think that this Capitals series, Capitals Jack series, is going to go the distance. I mean, all three games have been in overtime.
Yes.
I was unaware that no team had lost the first three games of a series in overtime before.
Oh, it never happened before.
No team has ever lost the first three games of a series in overtime before, and that was very close.
Yes.
But Holtby stepped up in a big way.
Yeah. Well, we are going to talk about that game today, aren't we, Jim?
Oh, most definitely.
We certainly are. And, of course, sneaky sharp play on the New Jersey Tampa Bay under. That was nice. Nice casher on that one. Yeah. Shout out to everyone who's here watching the show right now. Dennis Garcia, easy winner with the New Jersey Tampa Bay under. Yeah, I mean, you do see that a lot of times in the NBA and the NHL playoffs. Right around, like, you'll see totals that sort of go the way you're expecting. And then right around Game 4, sometimes Game 5, things can take a radical turn. Same happens the other way with, like, unders. You'll see, like, a bunch of under games in a row. And then all of a sudden, Game 4, sometimes 5, tends to start exploding the opposite direction. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I do. And I also feel like the overtime in that Jackets Capitals game was a sign of what we're going to get today, and I am going to go on the under.
Okay. Well, we'll get Jim's so excited for the NHL playoffs. Well, on the schedule, we do have MLB first because we do have
Let's do it.
day games. All right, yes. And let's just quickly get some other comments here. JP says Ducks had 0 heart all series, and I win says Jimmy the Bag. I respect your NHL handicapping. I fade you yesterday on the Ducks because you bet with your emotion, but I have a lot of respects for you, Jim.
Yeah, no, I love high win. I love everybody, man. And yeah, it's been a tough playoff for me so far. Got about 1.8 or 2 units back yesterday in NHL. And
look at this. BT commenter BT.
Nice.
New viewer alert. Finally convinced my brother Brandel to watch the show after 4 months. He loves it. Says you guys are funny as hell. Funny as hell. They can't take that away from us, Jim.
No, they can never take that away from us.
We should post a jokes record up every show, too. And just every show, just post the record up. Funny as hell. Jimmy the Bag, funny as hell. Nice job. And he says he loved it. Says you guys are funny as hell because you curse. Whatever works.
Yeah.
I'll do whatever it takes.
Fuck.
Whatever it takes. We'll make political humor. We'll make whatever puns, whatever it takes, and cursing as well. And he cashed on top of all that. Shout out to BT. Can you believe that? How flattering is that? Someone's trying to convince their family members to watch this show, Jim.
Respect, BT.
Cry.
Thanks for being a part of our family,
I'm going to cry. Thank you so much, BT. Your brother Brandel will soon learn that I live for those kinds of comments. That is all that I live for here. Richard Reyes says, I just started, and here's another one. Richard Reyes, I just started to watch this show, and I love. Richard Reyes, thank you so much for that comment. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
that
Richard.
comment. Yes. And let me see. Other comments here. Mr. Gokster says, here for the picks, stay for the comedy. Very nice. Yeah, we should start posting up a jokes update every few shows, just so the people know. Just so the people know.
Billy Bloodbath checking in from the Bronx. Man, we got our New York cappers might be the sharpest that we have.
Yes. Got a lot of people from the Bronx. Billy Bloodbath. The other guy, what's his name? Jerron Holden. I forgot what his name is. Josef Tucker. Angels team total over today. We will talk about that one. Let me see. Dan Kelly says, I have a bad feeling that sometime in September I'm going to post in this chat, Indians bats suck, and someone's going to say, yeah, but they've been good. Yeah, Dan Kelly is the one who said that the Indians were overvalued offensively, right, Jim?
He did. I still think they're a great baseball team.
Yes, Carlos Cow says, who's the pitcher for the Braves today? Sims? I think it is Sims.
I believe it's Sims. I'm surprised they're not going with Whistler, though. I thought Whistler had a ton of potential, but it seems like they're going with Sims. At least that's what I expect at this point.
Josef Tucker, Queens in the building. Oh, what's up? Josef Tucker from Queens. Darryl Lyles, Bronx native. Okay. Mr. Kite, Jersey in the house. Wow, a lot of tri-state areas, people. Mr. Stubby, Brooklyn born. Shout out here. Shout out. Oh, another one.
Nice.
Look at this. John Hempel, new viewer here. This show has now become part of my daily routine. Been watching now for a couple of weeks.
Man.
Do you know how flattering that is? John Hempel. I can't express how much that touches me inside. You think I'm lying. You think I'm bullshitting. I am not. Shout out to John Hempel. Thank you so much for that comment. Shout out so much for that comment. All right. Let's see. I guess that's about it. Let's move on, Jim. How about that?
Yeah, I think there's lots that I like in this MLB card, so let's get it.
Let's move on. Jimmy the Bag. Okay. MLB. Should we throw up the MLB record, Jim?
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a little while because
all right.
Our guy's not here.
Yeah. You got the MLB record up there, Johan? All right. I went down to negative double digits yesterday, Jim. Yeah, really, really bad. Jimmy the Bag, not bad. Look at that. Plus 4.5 units, plus 3% ROI. If you can maintain 3% ROI of the entire season, that is a very impressive record. Now, I, of course, put myself in a major hole last year and came out of it. This year, I really should be taking it easy until things turn around. It's just every card I feel like I have plays that I'm sort of seeing a certain edge on. And yesterday, I guess I got a little bit unlucky with the Cleveland second half. They got a score in the first half in the top of that inning, and then they lost it in the bottom, right, Jim?
Yeah. Yeah, you've had tough breaks. You've had tough breaks, and the times when you've doubled and tripled up hasn't worked out. Oh, God,
yes. I'll have like a great read on a game, great call, and make one play on it. Then I'll have a stupid read on a game, triple up on it, often involving the Cincinnati Reds, but not always,
yeah.
Right?
But you've helped me enormously, and the chat has helped me enormously. Yes. So, and I've made a lot of mistakes. So, and again, it's the afternoon.
Yes.
I feel like I'm just not nearly as focused as I am in the morning, and I've got to watch that very closely. But
yeah, MLB is tough for two reasons. First of all, the lines are very sharp because there's a lot of data that the smart guys use to sharpen the lines. And second of all, there's a ton of variance. So on a day-by-day basis, it can be very hard, unless you look at the box scores and make an educated guess. It can be hard to get an accurate read on whether you actually made the right bets or not. You know what I'm saying, Jim?
Yeah.
A lot of times you're going to be making the right bets and lose in MLB, and a lot of times you're going to be making the wrong bets and win just because of all the variance. Game of inches, you know? Well,
one mistake I've been making that I won't make anymore is anytime I like the Tigers-Orioles game was a perfect example yesterday. First five, these bullpens are terrible. I was shocked when I read that the Tigers have 31 of their 59 runs have been in the seventh inning or later.
The Tigers.
Yeah.
You know, I just noticed that today. The Tigers have a bad bullpen, don't they?
They do.
But they're actually, you know how I track second half plays. They're still, as of right now, undefeated on the year second half. They haven't won every one. A bunch of pushes, obviously. They have. You would think that a team with a bad bullpen would have a terrible, and that would normally be the case.
This offense seems to awaken in the late parts of the game. So that was a mistake because, man, I really felt like I had a read on the starters yesterday, and then I lose the bet. I mean, I got fortunate to get the Tigers to at plus 100 to pull that out for me, but I'm not going to make that mistake again, and I'm going to focus more on the first 5. I feel like I have a better read on the starters than I do on the bullpens right now.
Greg Schneider says, according to the every 5 days the Reds win, capping, they are due for a win tomorrow. Not today, but tomorrow. Okay. Thanks for pointing it out, Greg Schneider, because I have not been counting the Reds games. Of course, inside joke in the show was a few days ago, Mally Mal, and I think it was just a misinterpreted comment. I don't think Mally Mal literally meant it, but Mally Mal posted that the Reds win every 5 days, and then Justin Searcy thought that was the most stupid handicapping angle he has ever seen in his life, and they went back and forth. Very, very funny. But now the inside joke of the show is that I predict that the Reds will actually have a great record on the 5th game of this entire season, and we are going to track that, Jim.
Elio says that you got the Reds manager fired.
Yes, someone got the Reds manager fired. Yeah, who the hell knows? But all right, let's move into the games today. How about that? We do have a bunch of early games, right, Jim?
Yeah,
all right,
let's do it.
Let's start with the 1 o'clock game, Baltimore, Detroit. I think I'm going to pass on this one, although the first 5 innings over is very tempting. Zimmerman, of course, got hit in the jaw with a comebacker in his last start. Probably he'll be okay, but that's certainly something to at least take note of. Cobb, his first start of the year was terrible, but it was at Fenway, so maybe you give him a pass for that one. Not exactly sure what to think here. If you gave me a free play, I'd probably take first 5 innings over, but I'm not going to take that one either. What do you think, Jim?
I am on the full game over. Now, unfortunately, I hope they're still hanging a 9. I had to get 9.5 with my book when they were hanging a ton of 9s. And also, I had to get 9.5 at minus 110. When there was all the other 9.5s were at plus money. Very upsetting.
Well, I don't know what book you playing at, Jim, because right now it's 9 across the board, and in fact we can give you a minus 103 at Pinnacle. So probably the lineups are released and someone's out for one of these teams, or maybe multiple people are out. But if you want that one, we can give you the over 9 minus 103, Jim.
I do very much. Hal Abraham says, "I apologize. You were right on the Mets game. I apologize to me the bag yesterday. I was wrong." There's no apologizing.
Yes.
We don't apologize on Team Lowbag.
Yes.
We just need to hit more than we miss. We love you, Hal. Never need to apologize ever.
The only thing you need to apologize for is chasing or making inappropriate bet sizes. That is something you should apologize for. If you should say, I bet 20% of my bankroll on the Yankees run line yesterday and it lost. Yeah, you do have to apologize for that. But yeah, opinions, picks, no apologizing.
No apologizing. Game time, temp 42 Fahrenheit. Wind is blowing out strong over center field, 15 miles an hour. Tigers are going for a sweep. They said that the mood in the clubhouse is completely changed. They're feeling good about each other. I already mentioned that they'd scored 31 of their 59 runs in the 7th inning or later. Zimmerman had a okay start and then came out and got hit in the face. And he got hit in the face in college really badly. And so we're very thankful that this was just he struck him. He had swollen for 3 days, but he said, he said, my face didn't peel back like last time. Dangerous and a tough guy. And I'm sure that the team will rally around him.
I mean, it's unbelievable. When I was 10 years old, I got hit in the arm by a ground ball in Little League, and I was done. That was it for me. That was the end of my baseball career. I don't know how these motherfuckers deal with getting hit by fastballs and comebackers. You know what I'm saying?
8.18 ERA, 1.55 WHIP for Zimmerman through 11 innings, 11 Ks, 2 walks. Bad record versus the Orioles, 3-4, 5.84 ERA. Orioles have lost 5 straight, 7 of 8. They've showed some sign of life for the first time with the 4 runs in the last 2 innings last game. Cobb got roughed up by the Red Sox, and I expect him to have a tough time moving forward just in the early part of the season. Now, people have tweeted at me saying, just take the Orioles team total over that. They think that Cobb got that start out of the way. It was against the Red Sox. He went 3 2/3, 10 hits, 7 earned runs. Got that start out of the way and will pitch better today. I'm still skeptical.
And my other concern is that Zimmerman's first starts, the overall stat line wasn't good, but the periffs were not that bad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I'm kind of agreeing that, and the Orioles don't hit righties well at all, at least so far this year. I don't know if that's likely to change, but so far they haven't been hitting righties well. And I don't know. You definitely, I should be listening to you. You not listening to me, Jim. But what do you want to do here?
Oh, I like what you got me. I like the full game over 9 at minus 103. I like it quite a bit. And let's see. And hey, William Speaker says, "Hey Pete Bag, what do you guys think about Orioles team total over?" There it is, 4.5. Or the Tigers team total over 4.5. Who do you think's more susceptible between these two pitchers?
I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of thinking that both of them might be okay here. This kind of reminds me sometimes, not always, but a lot. Sometimes in baseball, when you have 2 bad pitchers in one of these early day games, like happened to me with Davies against Molly in the Milwaukee game recently. The games are a little bit surprisingly low scoring, especially in like a hitter friendly park like Detroit. Although, as you said, the wind is blowing out, so it's this is a crapshoot. 9 is I'd rather be getting 8.5 personally. It's not a great sign. I think that the line went down on the total, but Jimmy the Bag, what do you want to do here?
I'm great. I like it. I like the over 9 full game. Minus
Okay.
103 seems good to me. Tomor says Cobb pitched well at the Trop, but hasn't been a good pitcher in hitter parks, and he's off an injury. Detroit's bullpen is horrible, tough to read, and I believe he means Baltimore will score much. But I like where we stand.
Okay, so Jim's going to take the over 9 minus 103. I pray with all my heart that you cash this one, Jimmy the
Thank
Bag.
you.
I love seeing your fucking record be positive.
Thank you.
Really warms my heart and saves my ass. It warms my heart and saves my ass.
Oh,
It
I
saves the
know.
show's ass.
I know that you'll be skyrocketing.
I hope so. Now let's move on to St. Louis and Chicago. Luke Weaver, unreal, right? What a stud.
Have him in the baseball pool.
Yes, and Luke Weaver. I was on the Luke Weaver train pretty early last year, and that was a cause of some of my profits last year in baseball overall, especially in the second half. He was like vaguely in the Corey Kluber, realm of my brain. You know what I'm saying? Like Corey Kluber. A lot of people in his last start were saying, Minnesota's a home dog. Don't do it here. But I was like, no, man. When Kluber's starting, I'm going to take the big road favorite. I'm not saying Weaver's on Kluber's level quite right now, but he is vaguely in that category. Things that I wouldn't do for even other good pitchers, I'd be thinking a lot more strongly about doing with Weaver, like taking him as a big favorite, taking him on a first 5 innings, taking a first 5 inning team total under 1.5, stuff like that. What do you think here, Jim?
Well, I thought about this game quite a bit. One thing I am worried about Luke Weaver is I know that he is on a innings limit this year.
Okay.
And so that's something that does concern me with my pick of him in the pool. 0.98 whip through 17 and a third, 2.08 ERA. Winds blowing strongly over left center. Yeah.
Yellow Jesus just said, I'm going to put blessings on everybody. Thank you, Yellow Jesus. Thank you. So on behalf of everybody, thank you, Yellow Jesus. All right. Sorry, I just had to address that, Jim.
You had to.
Sorry.
No,
right.
You had to.
All right. Hey, Johan, could you put add one to the jokes to the win in the jokes spreadsheet? Thank you very much.
Yes,
all right, go on,
yes,
Jim.
yes. Thank you, Yellow Jesus. Cardinals have won 5 straight. They're looking very good. I wasn't sure what to do. I swear if I took the over on every 7 I saw, I would be a rich man. Now, I am going to take the Cardinals team total over, I think. I'm curious to see what line I can get at this point. Leicester, 4.40 ERA, 1.67 whip. And this isn't just a fade of Leicester. I think the Cardinals can manufacture 4 runs in this game. And
yeah, they also brought up a minor leaguer. I forgot his name, who might help them out a little bit.
6 home runs already, or 6 or 8 home runs already in the preseason in AAA.
Yeah, and not that they needed it because they were hitting well already, but that's a nice little boost, right?
They're hitting well against righties. Against lefties, they have a 202 average, 687 OPS through 114 at bats. But yes, Mr. Gokster leans cards. And Barkerman coming in with Leicester 5-4, 2.30 ERA, 14 career starts against St. Louis.
And small sample size, but thank you, Barkerman, for just letting us know. Weaver 0-1 with a 12.86 ERA and 2 career starts against the Cubs. Probably one of those was like a down spot for him, and he got absolutely crushed. But, still nice to know. It's just D from Detroit. D from Detroit says Cubs lineup sucks. Look, in general, I'm looking to play on Weaver, especially when you're getting a dog line like this. JK says, I like cards first 5 money line. That's what I was thinking about, Jim.
That's a nice spot. Hugo Schofield says, yes, the wind is blowing in. Sorry, I might have said that wrong. Sorry, the wind is blowing in strongly over left center, and that's part of the reason why they're hanging a 7.
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry, thank you for mentioning that, Hugo Schofield. I might have messed that up.
Interestingly, as we speak, though, money coming in on the Cubs. It's now up to minus 118. Took a nice little jump just recently at Pinnacle in favor of the Cubs. So that's, interesting. I mean, Luke Weaver isn't creeping up on anyone right now, so whoever's betting the Cubs is aware of who Luke Weaver is for sure, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm a zigzag man. I think this card's team total. I'm curious to see what would I get on the is a 3.5.
The team total.
Yes,
Cardinals the team total. Let me see. Let me just quickly see. Let me see. Quickly check in here. The Cardinals would be actually 3.5 plus 100.
3.5 plus 100. That is what I'm. Kobe says, Jimmy, if Weaver's pitching well at the All-Star break, I'd advise to trade him since he has an innings limit. I think that's an excellent call. Yes, I'm on the team total over 3.5
plus
on the
100.
Cardinals at plus 100.
You want that, huh?
I do. I think that's the best play I can make here.
Team total over 3.5 plus 100. I'm just going to very, very quickly check out and let me just quickly check out. Does Bet365 have team totals in MLB?
Yeah.
If you're going to take a lot of team totals, you should probably just take a glance at Bet365 because those kinds of bets, as we have seen with the alternative run lines in MLB, tend to be a lot worse at Pinnacle than other places. Pinnacle has much sharper lines when it comes to those kinds of lines. So just always worth checking, Jimmy the Bag.
Absolutely great.
And let me just quickly check what they have here at Heritage. Yeah, Heritage is pretty sharp. 3.5 minus 105. So
same thing. 3.5 plus 100.
All right, so we'll give you that one. 3.5 plus 100. I don't know, man. I mean, the no-brainer play to me seems to be just to take St. Louis here. On the first 5 innings, or maybe a shot with the Cubs' first 5 innings team total under, which is a 1.5 at plus 100. I guess it concerns me that Weaver has had 2 starts where he's gotten hit by the Cubs, and
I don't know. It was such a small sample size.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I have that stat here, and I didn't even read it out just because I didn't.
Yeah.
Let's see what Elio says. He says, Jimmy, I like that as well. Not sure about the weather. Yeah, I feel like this is the what would we get for Cardinals first 5?
Oh, I'm sure it'd be about plus 100 or so. Let me just quickly pull up that one here. Where is that one? Cardinals first 5. Luke Weaver. Yeah, you wager us plus 100.
I'm comfortable where I stand. I like my play. I'm a team total over 3.5 plus 100.
Team total over 3.5 plus 100. All right, let me just think here. St. Louis, it's plus 101 at Pinnacle. Man, it just feels like Weaver is just an automatic play on now. Why would he be a dog here? The market isn't that stupid, right?
He's on the road, and maybe
the Cubs are still good.
Yeah, the Cubs are 7-8. They're just 2-4 at home. They have Rizzo back now. Yeah. I mean, the Cubs are always going to take a lot of public money. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Houston, Seattle. Morton and Gonzalez. Morton, obviously, freaking ridiculous. I'm sure at some point in the far long-term future, we will find out what was the real cause of this career resurgence from Charlie Morton. But as of right now, it's completely irrelevant. All we need to know is that it's happening. Seems like had no reason to believe that he won't give another really strong 6-inning start here. And, Gonzalez is a guy who is serviceable, struggled a little bit, but probably not too terrible. I don't know. I was thinking maybe about a first half under here. What do you think, Jim?
I was expecting more from Gonzalez. He's just not showing it. I love these guys from that will go to school at Gonzaga, Pacific Northwest. I cheer for him, cheer for the Mariners, and he's not been playing well. Mariners are getting healthy. They got Gamble back. I expect him. He had a nice rookie season. Mariners have only scored 4 runs for the first 3 games of the series. This is an excellent pitching staff the Astros have.
Yeah.
Morton's looked great, as you said. 1 ERA, 1.06 WHIP, 25 Ks in 18 innings. When did he become this kind of a stud?
I remember almost exactly when it happened. I don't remember the exact date, but in my mind, I remember when it happened because I was like, all right, this is either like a lottery-winning start by Morton, or he's on the juice. And after it happened 2 other times, I was like, he's on the juice. Dude's on the juice.
Yeah.
HGH, Trembolone, whatever the hell it is. Congratulations, Charlie Morton. That's the guy who was willing to do whatever it takes. Right, Jim? And he did something.
Yeah, and it's working.
And it's working. Yeah. He did it.
Gonzalez has struggled. 8.25 ERA, 1.75 WHIP. I'm surprised he struggled like this. Hey, Astros are not hitting lefties like they did last year. 241 with a 753 OPS. They smashed them last year. It's only through 199 at bats, so I'm sure that'll improve. Mariners are hitting 243, 707 OPS. I don't know what to do. People are saying Astros run line's low hanging fruit. The GOAT BJ1 says Stroh's total under 8 bats asleep combined with Morton pitching.
Yeah, I was thinking about, the first 5 innings over or the full game. First 5 innings under or the full game under. I would vaguely agree with that one. The GOAT BJ1 says Astros total game under. Bats asleep. I mean, yep, Eric Swiatek likes the under. Yeah. Let's see. People are already talking about NBA and NHL. We can't get to that right now because we're talking about MLB, but we will get to it in a bit. What do you want to do on this game, Jim?
Nothing. I don't want to do anything. I expect Gonzalez. I want Gonzalez to improve. He was a stud in college. He won the John Olerud Award. I expect him to improve, but I also think that Astros are just are overvalued in this spot, and I don't have faith in the Mariners. And I'm just going to leave it alone.
Yeah, it does feel like, once again, Seattle's probably one of these, plus 165 dogs that maybe should be a plus 145 or something like that.
I think so, too, but it burnt me last night, and it's fresh in my memory.
Okay, then let's move on to Toronto Yankees. Toronto has been beating up on weak teams on the road. Now they're going up against the Yankees. Obviously, this line is relatively low, well, because Toronto has been cashing so well recently. Also because Sabathia is coming back from a hip injury. And Sanchez, might be having some control issues. As you know, Jim, I was kind of high on him. His control issues in his last start were a little little bit concerning. And the question is just how much better are the Yankees here than Toronto? My sense is Toronto might have looked a little bit better than they really are in their recent run of road wins. Maybe the Yankees, at a very modest line here relatively, might have some value. What do you think, Jim?
I think they do have value, but I thought Sanchez looked excellent in his last start, and I was not on. I thought something looked funny in it with his delivery, and God, he took a no-hit bid into the 8th inning. These veterans are fine with the 15 days or 10 days, 12 days off of pitching, where it affects the younger guys more. I think Sabathia will probably be fine, but it is a hip injury, and the Jays hit him. The Jays have always hit him. Game time temps 46 Fahrenheit, wind blowing out strong over right field at 50 miles per hour, and it's just going to get stronger as the game goes on. It'll be 20 miles per hour in the late stages of the game. Blue Jays off to one of their best starts in team history. They've scored 39 runs, hitting 291 during a 4-game winning streak. Stanton is not hitting at all. 197 through 16 games. In his first 8 home games, he's batting .086 with 20 strikeouts. Sanchez, 3.66 ERA, 1.42 whip so far. He's always pitched well against the Yankees, 3.03 ERA and 14 career starts. And Sabathia has looked okay in the 9 innings. And he's actually, I don't know why I thought that. Oh, that's why I see. 17-11, 3.59 ERA and 31 career starts against the Jays. But last year, or since the start of 2015, 2-7 with a 7.37 ERA. Jays are hitting 253, 749 OPS through 174 at bats versus lefties, and the wind blowing out so strong. I feel like Dennis Garcia says Blue Jays win. Kobe says CC hasn't been great versus the Jays. Host Steph Tucker says Yankees money line bounce back. Menace Age 20 saying Yankees hate backing Yankees, but hate backing Sabathia. And Mr. Gokster's on the first 5 over in New York, Toronto. I'm leaning towards taking the Jays on the team total over to touch Sabathia. I'm curious to see what I would get. I'll see.
All right. Well, the line on that one, let me see. Let me find the team totals here. The Jays at Pinnacle would be 4 minus 104. 4 minus 104. That's a Pinnacle.
I like that. And let me see what I'm getting here. I'm getting team total Jays over 3.5.
Yeah.
At minus 135.
Yeah. So 4 minus 104, 3.5 minus 135.
Wow.
That's not surprising.
Wow.
I mean, you got a modest total. Jays are a pretty big dog, and there you go.
Wow, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. I'm going to take the 3.5. I'm going to take the team total, Jays team total over 3.5.
Toronto team total over 3.5 minus 135.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm going to take the Yankees on the second half minus 110. I agree with you, Jim. I'm not totally sold on Sabathia here. Sanchez might have another good start, but not convinced he's going to go deep. But I just like the Yankees bullpen, although the Jays bullpen has been pretty good too. But I'm going to take the Yankees on the second half minus 110. That's the current line at bookmaker, Jim.
Would you have taken the 3.5 at minus 135 or the 4 at minus 104? Do you think
that's about I would probably take slight value with the 4.104, but it's just a matter of volatility. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm comfortable. No, Rich Bank saying Donaldson playing. No, he's on the DL. I think that might. I'm just going to take the 3.5, but I'm wondering if that's a mistake. If I should just take the 4 minus 104.
No, that's about what I would put the exchange rate on for that half run there.
Okay, I'll take the 3.5.
All right, 3.5 minus 135, and I'm going to take the Yankees on the second half minus 110. That will be an official pick. Now let's move on to Pittsburgh and Philly. Jamison Tyone, pretty impressive. Arrieta, not nearly what he once was, but still okay. Not too terrible. I was thinking about Philly's team total under. I was thinking about the first half under maybe. Tyone's been generally pretty effective, and I think it's probably going to be the same. Even though Philly has good bats, I see no reason to believe that he won't be. What do you think, Jim?
I don't know. Wind's blowing very strongly again, but in. So that's why the line is so low. And then Jake Arrieta looked good, I thought, in his last start. When he started this year, I was like, fade. I think we'll get a ton of value fading him. But Phillies are returning home for a 10-game homestand. They look pretty good on that road trip, going 4-2. Pirates are sitting here at 5.5 runs per game.
Yeah.
Best mark in the National League. And Tyon has looked absolutely dominant so far. 0.89 ERA, 0.69 whip. And after allowing 2 homers in his first start, Tyon, a complete game, 1-hit shutout. And then he followed that up with 6 scoreless innings, and he did not like the way he pitched. That's a sign of a great pitcher.
Yeah.
When he was saying that it was all what's his name, the catcher on the Pirates. It was all him, and I was just trusting him, and I did not have my best stuff. He's looked excellent. Arrieta, 3.3 ERA, 1.31 whip. I was surprised when I was writing that down. I thought he had a worse start than that. 20 starts against the Pirates, 10-6, 3.18. Last year, a little worse, 4.07 ERA. Pirates are just hitting hard, and Phillies really aren't. I wasn't sure what to do in this spot. I wasn't sure what to do. What move are you making?
I was thinking about just taking, maybe the under, or if you expect Arrieta to maybe get touched a little bit, the Pirates on the first 5 innings, which would be just minus about 115. Probably Pinnacle has a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think I'm going to make Nicholas Vasilak is on the Pittsburgh first 5. So is Cleveland Steamer, and Darryl Lyles is on the under in Philly Pirates.
That's what I was leaning as well.
Yeah, and Yellow Jesus first half under might be a good play.
That's what I was thinking as well. I was thinking under or first half under. I mean, the total on this game opened at 7.5. Now it's down to 7
because of the wind. I mean, it's just blowing in so strong.
And the first half under is looking like a 3.5. Bet Online has 4 minus 140, but the first half under is 4 minus 128 at Pinnacle.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
wow.
I mean, I would be leaning first half under. I'd be leaning Pittsburgh first half money line. That's what I'm thinking about.
I like those leans. I'm not going to make a play on this game. I'm a little uncomfortable.
It is a 7 o'clock Eastern time game, so we can just wait and watch and think, Jim.
Definitely.
All right, let's move on then. The Mets against Atlanta. Oh, now I'm seeing Whistler as the listed starter on SBR odds.
Oh,
but
wow.
let me see who's listed here at let's see who's listed here at Heritage. Let's see who's listed here at Heritage. I'm seeing Whistler at SBR odds, and I am seeing Sims at Heritage. So it's Sims. Sims is a starter.
Yes, I'm seeing Sims at Bet365.
Yeah. All right. So this game, Mets off the huge comeback win. Huge comeback win, Jim.
Yeah,
very nicely done.
Got to bag a couple units on that.
Now, how do they respond here going into Atlanta, and what do we expect from Harvey? I was thinking maybe a first 5 innings over. I was thinking maybe Mets on the second half. I'm kind of liking Mets on second halves in general. I like their bullpen right now. What's your take on the Mets, Jim? Or rather, I'm fading the Atlanta bullpen right now. What's your take on this one, Jim?
Yes, I think the over is a nice spot. I do. But then a ton of people I was against Harvey in his last start. A ton of the chat was saying that was a mistake. They trusted Harvey and they got rewarded.
I was one of them. But I wasn't fading him. I wasn't fading him is what it was. I'm thinking this one might be a little bit of a different situation. Although is Freeman okay? I know he got hit on the wrist. Is he?
I don't think he's going to be okay. I do not expect him to be in the lineup. That's one of the reasons why I wasn't going to make a play until the 7 o'clock show. But Sims, I still don't understand why they're going with Sims. And in fact, I may only take the Mets team total over again if Freeman's not in the lineup, because that's the same wrist that he fractured last year. Sims went 3-6 with a 5.62 ERA last year. He'd once started AAA Gwinnett, and he pitched okay. Didn't allow a run 4 innings. He got lit up all spring. 13 and a third, 18 hits, 15 earned runs, 9 Ks, 10 walks. Harvey struggled in his last 2 starts after throwing that shutout in his first appearance, but he's pitching better than I expected him to. In 11 career starts, he is a 4.38 ERA. Against the Braves. I'm gonna wait. Atlanta's waiting to hear about Freddie Freeman. Mets are hitting 242, 741 OPS, and they're making everybody money. They're great, and the Braves are making everybody money too. I hit with both these teams have been very good to us. And let's see. Robert Petoni says Mets score first. Major Keylord says Harvey is sketchy. Carlos Coase says doubtful for Freeman.
Freeman's going to be out.
I think Freeman's going to be out. Harvey, Cleveland Steamer 1-6 last 7 team starts. The last 7 starts versus the Braves, including 0-3 in Atlanta.
Kevy K from 2012-2015, Harvey never allowed a higher than 28% hard hit rate. 2016 it was 30%, 2017 32.5%, and it's 40% in a small sample in 2018.
So can we trust this Braves offense without Freeman in the middle of it?
I don't know, but I think that I'm going to trust the Mets offense on the second half here, just because I'm not sure what we're going to get from Harvey. I'm not a big fan of the Braves bullpen here, although Tom Marino says the Mets bullpen hasn't been great lately as well, which yes, absolutely that is true. But I'm going to take the Mets on the second half here. I have a feeling Harvey might get touched a little bit, even with Freeman out, and I'm going to take Mets on the second half, which will be I think minus 125.
Elio Rodriguez taking Atlanta in the series at plus 150. What would I get for the Mets team total over?
The Mets team total over would be 4.5 minus 110.
And let's see what I'm getting here.
4.5 minus 110.
Okay. And here I'm getting team total over 4.5 minus 125. Wow.
Yeah, Pinnacle 4.5 minus 110.
I will take the Mets team total over at this point, and I'm going to wait to make another decision.
All right, 4.5 minus 110. I'm going to take the Mets on the second half, minus 125. And again, this is an evening game, so Jim and I can rethink this and maybe add some plays in the 6 o'clock show. Then we have Miami against Milwaukee. Peter's an interesting guy, often does well at home in Miami, but then on the road is often a lot more vulnerable. And Anderson from Milwaukee has been great. Obviously, Miami coming off of that surprise win against the Yankees, but they're clearly still a bad team. I don't know. I guess I'd be leaning Milwaukee here. Maybe on the run line, maybe on the -1 line. Not sure that I'd want to take the minus 180 money line, though. Big favorite line for Milwaukee, but hard to justify another win from Miami.
Impossible. Yeah. And Chase is someone I said at the beginning of the year, I want to fade. I think he will be overvalued. Now, he's allowed 6 homers, but he's still holding teams to a 192 batting average. He's still... he's pitching well. I was not sure what to do here. So we know that Dylan Peters has been destroyed on the road and looked great at home. And I think that will continue. Also, the Brewers are hitting just 226 with 641 OPS through 177 at-bats for lefties, but they have Yelich back, and he will help. Thames has homered in 2 straight games, has 7 on the season. My issue is, do I take the Brewers on the run line or do I take the team total over? And I hope to figure it out with everybody here. Anderson's allowed, 6 home runs, holding opponents to 192 average. Peter 6.75, 1.70 whip, but he had that horrifying start in Philadelphia. And to be honest with you, that start showed character. He stuck in there. He said all the right things afterwards. A lot of guys can whine and make excuses. He never did. Marlins got JT Realmuto back. That clearly that's going to help a lot. I'm curious to see.
All right. Well, I'm going to take Milwaukee on the -1 line. It'll be a bit of a favorite line here. The money line is minus 180. The run line is plus 109. That's the line at Pinnacle. So that'll wind up being about a minus 140 line or so for the less than that, like 135, 133, something like that. But I'm going to take Milwaukee -1. Miami gets a win. Nice job. What's another unit and a third of loss for me? I'm going to try to stack a unit on there and take Milwaukee -1.
I'm gonna take him on the run line, but I'm curious to know what that team total over is.
For Milwaukee. Let me find it. 5 plus 104 at Pinnacle. And let me see what we got here for you at Heritage. 5 plus 104 at Pinnacle. If you go to Bet Online, you'll probably Bet365, you'll probably see a 4.5 there. Let's see.
I think I'm leaning towards a little bit juicier, right? I get a little bit juicier on the -1.5.
Let me see. Yeah, Heritage is 5 plus 100, so 5 plus 104 would be the line at Pinnacle, and the run line is plus 109.
I'm going to take the -1.5 plus 109.
Okay, Jim's going to take Milwaukee run line plus 109. That is the current line at Pinnacle. Ski Prophet says missed MLB, but I know Pete likes his boy Tyone today. I do. Yes. I haven't actually made a play on that one yet. I'm definitely leaning first 5 innings under. Definitely leaning Pittsburgh first 5 as well. And but I have not made an official play on that one. Ski Prophet, regular viewer of the show, knows that I have been high on Tyone, especially after he came back from the surgery.
Ski Prophet is a killer on NBA too, man. I love capping with him. Also, we just got a great note from Randy Lockhart, a hockey thing. I've copied and pasted to bring it up in our when we go through hockey. And then Bill Butlicker is asking you, what does touched mean?
We're not going to get into that, Bill Butlicker, right now.
I think he's actually asking, though. It just means he's going to get hit, not because he's wondering if
he's literally acting?
Is he going to get hurt?
Oh, no, it means hit. Means hit pretty hard, actually. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Let's see. Randy Lockhart. Great comment from Randy Lockhart. Okay, I'm going to take Milwaukee on the -1 line, and Jim is taking Milwaukee on the run line. Next game on the docket. Last game. Oh, no, not the last game on the docket. San Francisco against Arizona. Arizona just money at home, even though they lost their last game. Here we are again. Greinke against Block. When Block, at any given time can have a decent start. not a surprise, but in general, a very fadeable, hittable guy. This line is headed up for Arizona, and I'm feeling the same way about this game as I was about the Milwaukee game. Shot with Arizona -1. What do you think? Jimmy the Bag.
I agree. We've not seen the best of Greinke. He's not looked great, but we remember his numbers at home. They're absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And yesterday, Scotty Rock hit with the Giants, and it was a great play.
Nice.
It was an excellent play, and he was confident in it. I did not know that there was the veteran hitters called a hitters-only team meeting before the game. And when we've been going over the Giants' numbers, they're pitiful offensively, 234, 664 OPS. But with these veterans, they're going to get clutch hits. They're going to get the big hits. I do believe in Longoria and McCutchen to step up when they really need it. But the Giants have scored 1 or fewer runs in 9 of their 16 games. Scored the fewest runs in Major League Baseball with 50, hitting 159 with runners in scoring position. And Block is someone I don't have faith in moving forward. 4.43 ERA, 1.62 WHIP, 9.45 ERA in 3 appearances at Chase Field. Greinke did not. My only concern is that he suffered back spasms in that first inning of the last game. He was stretched out and finished 6 1/3, but that is concerning. 2-0, 1.83 ERA in 3 starts against the Giants last season. 11-2, 2.37 ERA against Giants in 17 career starts. Won a major league high 13 home games last season. 13-1, 2.87 ERA at Chase Field. Yes, I am going to take the Diamondbacks, and I'm going to take them on the run line.
All right, Jim's going to take Arizona run line plus 130 is the line right now. So the back spasms are okay for you, Jim?
No,
Yeah.
I'm concerned about them. But, he's home.
Yeah.
It's a controlled temperature. No, that's my concern. Is the back spasm.
Yeah. Okay, plus 130 is the run line there, and I'm going to take Arizona -1. Money line is -166. Run line is plus 130, so that's a small favorite line there for Arizona -1. Hopefully Arizona can pull it out. Feels a little bit like, go ahead.
And here's Scotty Rock saying, yes, Jimmy, but tonight Diamondbacks run line all day. He's got such a good read on this Giants baseball team. He says D-backs smash today, and then he says they eat nom 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 nom. Tomar says Greinke missed nearly all of spring training. I think it will get stronger as the postseason goes on, but -175 is too high in my opinion. Arizona isn't the same against lefties. Now, we know Arizona was terrible against lefties last year, but they have a 758 OPS through 217 at-bats versus lefties this year.
Yeah.
And they're not pressured into putting Jake Lamb in the lineup because he's on the DL. So they're hitting lefties much better than they did last year, but great point, Tomar.
Yeah, it is a high line. I think you're doing the right thing, Jim, by taking the run line with higher volatility because of both starting pitchers, actually, Greinke and both offenses as well. Let's see some other ones. We're going to get to people who are looking for NBA and NHL. We're going to get to that in a second. Last game is Boston against the Angels yesterday. I gave the Angels money line -114. Massive loser there. I'm going to pass on this one, although, the over seems like it's a great play. Why would the over not be a great play here?
I like Nick Tropiano. I like him. I like the way he looked. And I'm taking the Angels to stop the sweep from happening. Game time temp 62 Fahrenheit. Wind blowing out softly. Just gets softer and softer down to 5 miles an hour at the end of the game. Red Sox have beaten the Angels 19-1 through the first 2 games with 9 home runs. I'm wondering what we're going to get from Rodriguez moving forward. Cora loves his stuff. Says he's electric.
Yeah, he's always had great stuff. He's just had some injury issues and some issues with control at times, but his stuff has always been electric. Yes.
And I thought Tropiano looked great. Angels are hitting 264, 748 OPS through 148 bats versus lefties this season. Obviously, the Red Sox are hitting 287, 844 OPS. Let's see. Joseph Tucker has Angels. Team total over. Scotty Rock's on Angels all day.
Wow, look at this. Israel Williams. Fellas, I opened a steak and seafood restaurant a few months ago. Get the fuck out of here.
Really?
For real? I missed you guys. We missed you. Wow.
Where? What city,
Very
Israel?
nice
What
job.
city?
Yes.
What
Good
city?
luck. I wish all the great luck of the universe onto your steak and seafood restaurant, Israel Williams.
What city, Israel? I want to go and I want to help support it.
Yes, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but shout out to Israel Williams. Best of luck with your steak and seafood restaurant. We got to get to NBA and NHL.
Okay, but just one last thing. Yesterday, when I had the over on this game, our man Nate Pereira, who's with us on the chat, sent me a tweet. He said, all my numbers point to the over here. I'm making a big bet, enough for me to stay down in Costa Rica for a month on this game. We got the 2-run homer in the 9th inning to clear it for him, and he cleared 10K.
Yeah, this one, whoa, Jesus Christ. Yeah, this one is it's actually getting bet a little bit down to the under. It opened at 8.5 at plus money for the under. Now it's down to a -110 at Pinnacle, -119 at Bookmaker. So that's kind of interesting. I was thinking that, but you like Tropiano.
I do. I like the way he looked. I like everything that he's saying. I like what Scotia's saying about him. No, he doesn't have the stuff that Rodriguez has, but he has always been a good pitcher.
Yeah. All right, I'll think about this one a little bit more. It is a 10 o'clock game. We can get to that in the 6 o'clock show if I want to add a pick. What do you want here, Jim?
I'm on the Angels, full game.
Money line.
Yes.
Okay.
And shout out to Nate, man. I was so happy. I wake up so early to cap these games, and I fell asleep before the game was over, but when I woke up and saw that night, I was pumping my fist for you.
All right, Jimmy the Bag, minus 106 is the best line right now at Pinnacle, and that is taking some money. Look, they opened as a small dog, and now minus 106 is the best line that we can give you. All right, let me just do a quick save here of these comments, and then let's look for. I'm sure there's a lot of great handicapping comments that are coming in, but we don't really have time to read them because we do want to get to NHL and NBA. How about that?
Let's do it.
All right, George Antwi says, Loshak, what's your play of the day? Don't ask me that. Ask Jim. Jim, what's your play? I think the play of the day would have to be in MLB. What would you say, Jim?
I don't know. I have to take another quick look through everything.
I think it'd be Milwaukee -1, not on the run line, but -1 because they might win by 1. You know what I mean? Like Oakland came back and they, if I had taken them on the run line, I would have lost that one. But I took them -1, so it was a push. It would be Milwaukee -1, just a no-brainer play there.
I would say my favorite play, looking at this whole card, is I think the Cardinals can manufacture over 3.5 runs. I'm getting a plus line on it. I like both the Blue Jays team total over and the Cardinals team total overs at 3.5. Those are my favorite plays.
Sounds good. Now let's move on to NHL. We threw up the MLB record. Let's throw that NHL record up there. Let's look at what I've been doing here. 36.5 units is what I'm up, I believe. Very, very nicely done. Jimmy the Bag up 32 units. Very, very nicely done. Of course, if the Pens win the cup, that'll be 15 units fatter for Jimmy the Bag right there. But win or lose, it's been a great NHL season for both of us, and we should both be very proud. We have 2 very interesting games tonight. Let's start with the first one, Boston and Toronto. I'll be honest, I bet Boston on the opening line. I took Boston here. You know, Toronto a good team, but I feel like Boston is just the home team has won all 3 games, obviously, and I'm just thinking that Boston's top line was shut down in Game 3. If they come to play here, hard to see them losing, right?
You know what happened last game was Frederik Andersen.
Right. I mean, the Leafs need they rely so much on him,
and he's such a hot and cold goalie.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the Leafs tonight.
Really?
Even without Kadri and even without Komarov. Now, I've noticed that at least this morning, all the money was going on Boston.
Yes, the line with a little bit, nothing huge,
bit.
But I mean, they're about minus 115, 120 right now.
The Leafs were able to shut down the Bergeron, Marchand, Pasternak line. They combined for 0 points after accounting for 20 in the first 2 games. And I don't know. And now, obviously, they're going to miss Kadri. There's one more game of suspension, and not having Komarov, it doesn't help either. Although throwing in Dominic Moore, he's an excellent penalty killer and a great defensive forward. I think that Anderson is the key to this Leafs team.
Yeah,
and he got into his rhythm in that second and third period and got confidence. And I just feel like at a pick'em at this point in Game 4 for a home team with 2 very good teams. I think Boston's the better team, and Boston wins the series. But Game 4 at home to be offered a pick'em, I'm going to take it.
All right. I guess I just feel like the Bruins, they can make some adjustments, right? I think they're gonna batten down the neutral zone a little bit more because they got a little bit exposed by the Leafs in Game 3, and they'll be able to make some adjustments to do that better. You know what I mean? When the Leafs want to take their shots down the ice and back off the Bruins forecheck, and they're going to be able to make adjustments. Leaf had some success doing that. And you got to assume that that Cassidy is going to go to the video room and find some adjustments to make.
It's just too hard when you're on the road. Babcock said the first thing out of his mouth was Frederik Andersen and last change. You're giving easily one of the best coaches in the history of NHL last change. And so I think it's going to be much more difficult for Cassidy to make changes.
Okay, Jimmy the Bag, you're going to take Toronto here?
I am.
All right, let's see. Money line plus 106 is the best line. Again, some money has come in on it was about even money on both sides. Even odds on both sides when it opened, and now Boston is the solid favorite right now at about minus 117, and Jim's going to take Toronto plus 106 on the other side. Okay,
plus 106. I feel like an opportunity to take the over is an opportunity to take the home team in Game 4 with their goalie who is capable of being an elite goalie, playing great, finally, is a big deal. Let's hear Dennis Garcia says, as a Leaf fan, Bruins roll tonight. Tomer says, hard to ignore the way Boston dominated Toronto in games 1 and 2. I think Toronto won with emotion in game 3. They will have to be the better team to win tonight. Randy Lockhart says Toronto-Boston under 5.5. Columbus-Washington under 5.5. And a lot of people are talking about the over looking so good. Over. And that's why I copied and pasted what our guy, the guy we love, Randy Lockhart said. He said, Jimmy, don't forget this stat from a historic standpoint. There are much less goals in Game 4 while the series is 2-1 or 1-2. This year, in all series under these circumstances, where one team can take a 3-1 lead or tie it up, they know each other, they commit less mistakes, and it's a total sacrifice from everybody in Game 4. And I think that's very, very important information for us to use and take with us. Now, Norm L says, I agree, Leafs take it tonight. Skooma Steve says, I'd lean over with Leafs. And Sosanas does not believe what he saw, says Anderson going to get touched tonight. Very interesting. And then Gate Pass Key, Leafs get the matchup with Babcock. I think Pete is wrong. Leafs find a way to get another win by smothering the Bergeron line once again. The home matchup keeps them going. And I can't stress how important it is for Babcock to have last change. And Mr. Gogster doesn't trust it. He says Toronto's D is suspect. I don't know why they didn't make a big trade. I mean, even Van Riemsdyk, I guess Van Riemsdyk is going to demand a bunch of money this summer, so maybe there wasn't that much value with him. But I just think that that they needed to get a defenseman. Kilter Chimp, Bruins, Leafs, under.
A lot of people like an under. Swiatek likes the under. Jim Tobleson, sharp guy, first period under. Mr. Gokster, under does make sense. Kilter Chimp, Bruins, Leafs, under. Kevy K, all games went under yesterday. Under has been the trend. JK says unders across the board.
Wow. And Mr. Gokster says Leafs lose the series. It's done. And this is a guy from Belleville, you know, so all he gets is inundated with Leafs information nonstop.
Yeah.
He sees this team over and over and over and over again.
Bill Butlicker, I took Bruins. Again, Dennis Garcia. As a Leaf fan, Bruins roll tonight.
Kobe says, it's very hard to play in Toronto. They know how to play Boston to win. Anderson got a huge win to get his ego back and his confidence back. I can't stress that enough. What a big second half that was. For Frederick Anderson, because he's a hot and cold goalie. Leafs will be competitive again. Norm
L says the series is going 7. NHL wants the series to go 7, and he thinks that if a break or two is needed here in favor of the Leafs, that they're going to get it. You buy into that stuff, Jim?
I try my hardest not to.
Why? If it's a real factor, you want to be aware
I think it's a bigger deal in basketball than it is in hockey.
Okay, so Jim is going up. King Rail, I'll take the over then, since everyone's on the under. You know, I mean, let's see. Gate Pasquis says there's going to be many more unders in the NHL in the next few games. Teams are getting used to matchups, and tendencies are also going to get tired. Okay, I'm leaning under as well, and the first period under, as Jim Tobleson said, and we'll get back to that one maybe in a second, maybe in the 6 o'clock show. I'll add it. Washington, Columbus. You know, Washington got a little bit lucky pulling out that game 3, didn't they, Jim?
I don't know. Columbus got lucky winning game 1 and 2.
Sure. So here we go. Ovechkin predicted before these 2 games that it would be tied 2-2 when the series went back to Washington. You saw that, Jim?
Yeah, I did, and everybody keeps questioning his character, and I know he's been on losing squad year after year, but I love the guy's character.
Well, you know, I would be leaning Washington here again. The line has gone in Columbus's favor, though.
Really?
Yeah. What would you be leaning here, Jim?
Well, I'm leaning under. But yes, I would be leaning Washington again. The Caps dug deep. Holt came in and played great. Yeah. That's going to really make them feel good in the dressing room. They've been with them for 7 seasons, and nobody likes seeing a guy fall. Israel's telling me, is Israel mentioning? He says, Jimmy, you should really try the new Jameson finished IPA barrels. We want to know where your restaurant is, Israel. I think it's a big deal. He now has a 1.48 goals against average and a .930 save percentage in these playoffs. And as Dan always says, this is a whole new season. Playoffs are a whole new season. Capitals power play has been deadly. They've scored 6 times in the 3 games so far. John Carlson has 7 points. He's been in on every power play goal, and same with Panarin on the other side. He's been in on all 4 of Columbus's power play goals. Bobrovsky's changing his history of being a bad playoff goaltender, 2.64 goals against, .925. I think this will be a very tight checking game. I can't guarantee that with the Bruins and Leafs. or guarantee that. I can't guarantee anything.
Yeah.
But I really think that this is going to be that what we saw in the overtime is what we are going to see tonight, and I'm on the under 5.5.
Okay,
here.
Jake Scammell says they'd be up in this series if Holtby was playing the whole time. I win says under is the play here. Tom Marino says I like Columbus here. Oshie doesn't look healthy. I thought Washington was desperate in Game 3. I think Columbus will be the desperate team here. Is that what you think?
Well, both teams are going to be extremely desperate. But yeah, I mean,
who's deeper? I think Washington's deeper, right?
I don't
Up and down?
No,
No?
I think Columbus is deeper and Washington has the better top level
Okay.
players. But that even is not a certain thing because.
Yeah.
But I think that Washington has. I mean, Ovechkin and Backstrom. The only players who could be in the same sentence is Panarin.
Yeah. Kilda Chimp likes the Caps money line plus the under. Those would be my leans as well. Skooma Steve took the under when the line came out. Didn't even wait. Norm L likes Caps and the under. King Rail likes Caps money line. Norm L likes the under. Jose Perez says Caps will win. Very tough. All right, Mally Mal leaning Capitals on the money line today. All right, so I would be, I don't know. I think I'm leaning, and maybe Washington early. They do seem to be the kind of team that can get a lead early if they are motivated to do so.
Their power play is electric, and the Jackets' penalty killing is bad. It's bad, and so that's just a huge. We talked about it right in the beginning of the series that there's a huge special teams advantage with the Capitals.
Yeah. All right. So as of right now, I have no picks. All right. So wait. Jim's going to take the under. Let me find the line for you here. Columbus, Washington, under 5.5 plus 100. Plus 100. Jim's going to take Columbus under 5.5 plus 100. 5.5 plus 100. Right, Jim?
I like it.
Okay, and my leans would be under in Boston, Toronto, first period under, although I'm going to think about that one a little bit more. And the Washington-Columbus game, this is a tough one. I guess my lean would be Washington early, like a first period line or something like that.
Yeah, I think that would be a good play. I really do.
And just for shits and giggles, if someone gave you a free play on the Washington Columbus and you can only use it on a side, would you take Columbus at minus 119, which is the best line right now at BetOnline, or would you take Washington at plus 109?
I would take Washington plus 109.
You would, huh?
Absolutely.
Okay, there we go. And so Jim's going to take Columbus under 5.5 plus 100, and he's going to take Toronto at plus 106. As of right now, both games are past me, but I might have some picks in the evening show. Now let's move on to NBA. Jimmy the Bag. NBA. I suck at NBA in general, and unbelievable what happened yesterday. Everyone was loving the over. Even Native Queen loved the over.
Oh man, I was watching the game. I mean, because our show finished and we had it playing in the conference room there, and my God, if you told me LeBron's going to put up 16 points in the first few minutes, I'd be like, well, we're cashing.
It was Antoine Seymour who said LeBron on the over points. Remember that one?
He did. Antoine just nailed
it.
That's such a simple play that you're simplifying things at that point. I don't know.
Low-hanging fruit.
God, I try to do that with my capping is try to find the simple.
Yes.
God.
That's what you got to do. Don't overthink it. Low-hanging fruit. You'll have fewer plays, so it'll be less fun, but in the long run,
shout out to Antoine Seymour.
Shout out to Antoine Seymour. All right, so today we have 3 games. Philly, of course, dominated the first game. Lost the second game outright. Some people did call for that one. Jim had Philly on the first game, but he also had them on the second game, if I recall correctly.
Oh,
right?
I did.
And now they're just a small favorite here at Miami. I mean, at first glance, I suck at NBA. First glance, I got to be thinking Philly's a play. What do you think?
I don't.
No?
I think this is setting up for Embiid to come save the day in Game 4. Now, Embiid's whining. He posted on Instagram saying he's sick and tired of being babied. So I think that I think it'd be best for me to wait to see if he's in the lineup. Because even though they say he's doubtful, if he whines enough, he can get himself into the lineup. You know, one thing that a bunch of people mentioned when this series started was that Spoelstra can outcoach Brooks. And that he's a better coach. He's a great coach. And I was like, oh, is he? Is he that good of a coach? And God damn, did he make the necessary adjustments. Very, very. Do you know that Miami's 7-0 in Game 2s after being down 1-0 in a series?
Unreal.
That's just phenomenal coaching. And last game felt like the perfect storm. Wade comes off the bench and is superhuman. And the Sixers go 7 for 36 from 3. So if you just look at those two things alone, then yes, the Sixers are the play. But for some reason, I don't know. Whiteside barely played. I just feel like Spoelstra, it looked like he was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant. Now, I couldn't believe it. Like, I don't know why Brooks changed his starting lineup. Everything worked. Why take Amir Johnson off the starting lineup? And Amir Johnson now coming off the bench was the only Sixer with a plus rating. He finished +6. I don't understand why Brett Brown messed with what was going on. Just very confusing to me. Sixers were an average road team, 22-19. Heat were a good home team. I get average 26-15. I don't know what to do, but I have a funny sneaking suspicion that Embiid might play tonight, and that's why I want to wait till the late show.
Okay.
Tormore says Miami took away the 3-point shot in Game 2, but Brown will make adjustments. Philadelphia will attack the paint with Whiteside out. Philadelphia won't shoot 8 for 36. I thought they were 7 for 36, but yeah, whatever they are, they won't do it. Normel says D. Wade going to take over. Allen says Whiteside going to be traded. Medicine Age 20 is on the over at 216. Here. Yellow Jesus says Embiid might play, but don't count him out. I have to wait. But I feel like Bill Butler says, I took 76ers. I believe they win, but Heat covers. Oh, it's such a small line.
Okay, now let's move. I'm going to pass on this one.
But Ski Prophet, who's so sharp, says Embiid or not, Sixers to play.
That's what I was thinking. Why would we not be liking that, Jim? Because Spoelstra's such a great coach?
He rocked me with his adjustments, and everyone had mentioned that he was that much better than Brooks, and I was like, really, But God, seriously said I think this game goes under. Butler, Philly. Scotty Rock has got the Sixers Heat first half under.
Okay, I'm gonna my comment. My computer's freezing up a little bit here, so I can't read the comments. But let's move on to the Portland-New Orleans game. Obviously, Portland behind the 8 ball in a major way, right, Jim?
Yeah.
The line has moved up, not surprising there, from a -3 to a -4. Portland also has some injury issues now.
Yeah.
Is Portland the Anaheim Ducks of the NBA playoffs this year?
Ugh, God, that cuts me.
Yeah.
God, is Jrue Holiday the best guard in the series?
He looks great. Rondo's playing great. They're playing great. Why would you expect anything different here?
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying not to be a fan.
They're clamping down on Lillard. Are the Blazers going to have an answer for this? They didn't have an answer the first 2 games.
Lillard and McCollum have 24 field goals in the first 2 games. Have 29 field goals combined, and Holiday is 24. Listen to some of these stats. Holiday has guarded Lillard for 74 possessions in the first 2 games. This is about half the time Lillard's been on the court. Lillard has scored just 7 points on 2 for 18 shooting. Come on.
If the adjustments were going to come, wouldn't they have come in the second game?
Oh, my God. Holiday being the primary defender on McCollum for 35 possessions. He scored 11 points on 4 for 10 shooting. Nurkic has a leg bruise.
And we haven't even, in all this analysis here, we have not even mentioned Anthony Davis's name.
Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Where I thought he was a man playing amongst boys. Just this whole thing's shocking. Israel Williams says Pelicans sweep. Medicine Age 20 says Rondo. Not applicable says New Orleans very underrated.
Yeah.
King Rail says, I think my Blazers are done.
There you go.
We may win this game. If you stop Dame, you stop us.
Yeah. And it doesn't look like because again, if they were going to make any adjustments, what would have happened in the second game, right? Which I thought was going to happen, and I was wrong.
Wow.
Dan Kelly says, imagine if Cousins was healthy. I don't know. That might mess up their chemistry. You know what I'm saying?
Just a note from Chris Postal says, big man on campus says Embiid plays today. Says he has close inside info, according to him.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. Back to. I'm happy to wait for that one.
I mean, if he is announced in, then whether or not however much that helps, definitely the line will jump.
Huge jump.
Right.
So. I don't. So if you think he's going to play, take the Sixers now.
And if you think he's not going to play, but you like the Sixers, is money going to come in on Miami? Maybe. I don't know. I think if Embiid is not announced in, it's right at 2 at tip off. If Embiid is announced in, I don't even know, 4.5, right? More? Yeah.
Yeah. My God. Tomer says, I don't trust Portland's bench on the road, but I think it will be a close game. I lean Portland, but not betting the game. You know what? If I could get a 5, I would take the Blazers. Do you think that line keeps moving up?
Let me see. God, that is hard to. I mean, it does feel like at some point some guy with a spreadsheet and a fucking massive computer is going to come in here and think that he has an edge with Portland getting points. You know what I'm saying? And he might be right.
Yeah, he might be right.
The Greek is still hanging 3.5, so the Greek appears to have a current lean towards Portland at 4.
Dom, I'm going to copy and paste your comment and bring it up at the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I was looking at Dom's comment. What did you say about that? What you think about the?
The Greek still is hanging 3.5. Yeah, it feels like I don't know where this line's going to move. It feels like it's already moved a point. So is it going to jump up another half point? I don't know. My guess is that it'll probably close at 3.5. It'll probably head back down.
Really?
Because some sharp people are going to think that they're going to that Portland is just there's a recency bias. People are betting into New Orleans, and that Portland's going to come in and if not get a win, get a cover.
Jason Walker says too much hero ball on the Portland side, not sharing the ball. King Rail says no. If you take Portland, it has to be money line. He probably has a point there. Why? Get the extra stuff. Scotty Rock on first half Pelicans. Man, I'm not going to force anything because I just need time with these games. I'm going to have plays on this basketball card, and I'm not going to put in a play yet on plays as Pelicans.
Ski Prophet saying, I'm happy everyone's done sleeping on Drew in playoff Rondo. Yep.
God,
we slept on him.
We slept on him
we
bad.
We picked the fucking Blazers at minus 211 to win the series.
Oh, God.
We're going to have to eat 2 units.
Oh,
We're going to have to eat 2 units
thinking
of loss,
about that
Jim.
the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Also, I put $200. Last minute. Right before the start of the game one, I put $20. And I didn't even tweet it out. But I did do it.
Scotty Rock Forever likes first half Pelicans.
Jesus. I'm trying not to be a fan, but Ski Prophet had the Pelicans at plus 180 to win game one.
Very nice. Wow, very, very nice. Friggin' knew it. I wouldn't have predicted they were going to be able to shut down Lillard like that, but they did.
Nostra says playoff Rondo would have taken the Celtics. Would have took the Celtics out last year if he didn't get hurt.
Okay, and now let's talk about the other big game. So no play for you, Jim, right?
Not yet. I don't care about Evan Turner. I think he's trash. Offense. He's a defensive liability. Scored 0 points in 20 minutes in game 2. He's gone 6 for 21 from the field. He's a bruised right toe. I want him out.
Yeah.
I'd prefer him not be playing. But Nurkic is a big deal, and so
all
I'm
right.
gonna wait.
Let's talk about Golden State, San Antonio. Obviously, the big news here is that Popovich's wife passed away, right? So that's just a tragedy and throws a weird monkey wrench into everything. The one factor that is still, in play here is that San Antonio just has a limited roster this year compared to what Popovich has had to work with recently. There's some injuries for Golden State as well. A few minor injuries. I was thinking maybe first quarter, first half unders, although it's a very low total. What do you think here? The line has gotten bet in Golden State's favor for sure.
That was my initial thought as
Unders?
well. Was unders early, and I when I was capping this game, I mean, obviously, and our thoughts and prayers go out to Pop and the family after Aaron died. Long battle with illness. Even like I had a best friend die of stomach cancer. And even when for 3 years or 2 years that they're going to go, it's still shocking and difficult when they do go. Warriors won the first 2 games at home by a combined 36 points. Durant put up 32, Thompson 31. Aldridge stepped up in a big way with 34 points. They moved Rudy Gay into the starting lineup, and he played okay. Warriors have now won 10 of 11. This morning, I took a good long look at what Popovich can do. I looked at the roster. I was looking, what can he do? And I was like, man.
This is what fucking Jimmy the Bag does there. He looks at fucking rosters and pours over it.
But when I was like, okay, you could put him in the starting line. You could DeJounte Murray's not playing well. I was like, God, what can you do? And my final analysis was, you can't do anything. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
They just don't have the players.
Here's some interesting comments coming in. Scotty Rock Forever does like the under. Also likes first half Spurs money line and the first half Spurs. So Scotty Rock thinks the Spurs early is worth a shot.
And this is his team, Golden State.
I mean, that was my lean in game 2 was for the Spurs first quarter, first half, and both those cash, which obviously I didn't give as official picks, but I thought that the Spurs, but they were getting a lot more points there. My sense is that the unders early are the way to go, first quarter and maybe first half as well.
Ski Prophet says Pop isn't coaching, and that is another thing that we don't know. We don't know if their assistant's going to take over. I forget his name offhand, but what do you think if Pop isn't there?
Oof, I don't know. That's a whole lot of uncertainty circling around this situation. And then on top of it, you have the they're playing the friggin' Warriors, right? They don't really have the talent to keep up with them. Man, I don't know. What are the players going to do? I mean, it's possible that the players are just going to be like, all right, we're not going to beat the Spurs. We're at home. We'll try a little bit, and then when they get down, the game just gets out of control.
Wow, very interesting stuff here. Very interesting stuff. King Rail says Golden State will give this game to the Spurs.
That's the other thought. Yes, that's the other thought.
And then win it in Game 5 at home.
Because then the other way is they get to win at home, right?
Oh.
They're not going to go in there and be like, all right, Popovich's wife had that tragedy, and now we're going to drop the hammer on these guys.
And High Win, remember, he said yesterday that Spurs' first half was the play of the year. Oh, and Greg Schneider says Pop has confirmed that he's not coaching. Oh, my God.
Chris Postel says Spurs will play inspired ball tonight. Major key alert. I'm probably going to stay off. That might be the smart thing to do.
What would I get on Spurs' first half?
The Spurs first half will be Spurs first half. Where is it? First half NBA Spurs. Sorry, 1 second here. Spurs first half would be Spurs first half. Wow. Wait a minute. Let me just find this. Spurs first half would be just plus a half or plus 1, despite the fact that the full game is plus 4, 4.5. That tells you that the market knows what's up.
Yeah.
Market knows what's up. The market knows what's up, baby.
Wow.
And that's not even something that got bet down. It opened at plus a half. That was someone deep in Vegas advising them, saying, don't open this at plus 2.5. Open it at plus a half.
Yeah.
Let the motherfucker bet on Golden State. They'll lose.
Freddie is on Spurs first half. Noster says stay off, in my opinion. And David Stewart agrees with King, saying Golden State might roll over for Pop.
Yeah. I'd be leaning first half under, but then again, maybe or the first quarter under. But then again, maybe the Spurs know that they're going to get the games handed to them, and so they'll just put up a bunch of easy buckets, and maybe the first quarter's like 36-28 Spurs.
Wow, this is so interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this first quarter is like 36-28 Spurs.
The first quarter, that might be the better play.
What, the over?
No, the first quarter
Under.
just taking the Spurs.
Spurs, yeah. First quarter probably going to be pick 'em here, unless the market is doing wacky stuff with this one as well. Yeah, it's pick 'em. Actually, you can still get a plus a half.
Because JP says, hell no, fuck half point, Jimmy. Be smart. Oh, man. I'm going to need, I guess I'm going to need some more time. I guess I'm going to wait till the late show. But I guess after all of this, I do have a lean towards the Spurs first quarter and maybe even the Spurs full game.
So Mr. Stubby says no charity when you can close the team out. Yeah, but then they get to win at home.
Then you get to win at home. And
but also, do they care about this round of the playoffs that much? Really?
They don't care. No,
Yeah.
They know they're going to beat the Spurs.
So why do they care about winning at home then?
Just because they love Pop. Everyone loves Pop.
Yeah. Christopher Carter says, don't be scared, Pete. Spurs have the talent. Very interesting stuff. We will get into this a lot more with probably a lot more information and a lot more market line movements in the 6 o'clock show, right, Jim? I'm going to pass on all 3 games in the NBA tonight as of right now. And, Jim, you didn't give any picks either, right?
Not on NBA yet. No,
all right.
We will have some.
Great discussion, though, guys. Great information coming in on the chat box with regard to all these games. Really appreciate it. We're going to review the line moves at 6 o'clock, review any extra information that comes in, and maybe throw on some NBA picks. And, of course, read all the informative comments and handicapping opinions that come in on the chat box, right?
Absolutely.
We'll be back at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. Shout out to everyone. Thanks so much. We love you.